They're big markets. Like there's one that's called Mercado Central, and I love it. Have you ever been to like Pike's Place Market up in Seattle? Or any kind of, I'm like trying to think of like something comparative. Like sort of like the farmer's market that they have over in like the fall and stuff. It's sort of like that. Like Mercado Central is incredible. They have one level that has like meats and fruits and vegetables and people that are coming in from the little pueblos, and they bring their, you know, truck full of onions or their truck full of avocados or, you know, just whatever, and they come and sell. But then on the other levels, you have people that have made a lot of handmade things. So that will like weave together blankets, or they'll weave clothing, or they'll make backpacks, or I don't know, there's just a lot of different things that people make by hand, with lots of vibrant colors, and things are just bright and exciting and fun. So that's like kind of in the central market, which is right by like the old, I don't know if it's a palace or some kind of state building, but it's really pretty. And it's in zone 1, so it's the center of the city, because Guatemala City is split up into zones. So they have like zone 1 in the middle, and then they have like 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes all the way up to 24. So we had a few of those zones in my mission, and then a few of the other zones went to different missions. But yeah, so zone 1 was in my mission, so we got to go and visit Mercado Central, and that was always really cool. Like one thing that I brought home that I got as like a souvenir was a feather, and they had painted a scene on it. And it was really cool because the feather itself is only like this big and like this thick, but it's like a painting, and it has mountains, and it has a little man like hiking, and he's carrying a big load of like firewood on his back, because that's kind of how they carry wood to their homes, especially out in more rural areas. But yeah, and then on like every corner you'll find somebody, like I said, selling tamales, or they're making food right in front of you, or like street tacos or things like that. And we didn't actually eat food off of the streets because we weren't allowed, because we had a lot of like dietary restrictions in my mission to keep people from getting sick. So like I never ate like tacos or anything off of the street, mostly because they'd have like a hunk of meat, and it would be raw, and they'd just like cut it off, and it would fall on the grill, and they'd cook it up on the grill and then serve it to you. And so I always just like, I was like, maybe not. So we'd kind of avoid that. But yeah, I don't know, lots of like street vendors and people selling stuff on the streets, or just walking around and just like shouting out their services. Like I remember in my last area there was this man, and I won't do it because it's really loud, so I don't want to shout at the camera. But he was selling, like, it's called chatarra, which is essentially just like scrap metal. So he would always walk around and be like, "Se compra la chatarra." And he would always just have this really, really loud shouting voice, and he would walk up and down the streets, and people would sell like, I don't even know what they would sell to him. It was just like little bits of scrap metal, like a metal hanger, or like an old, I don't even know, I'm like trying to remember, but just like weird metal scraps that people had in their house, and they would sell them to him. And I don't know if he would then go and resell in other places, but you'd have stuff like that, or somebody that fixed watches, and he would walk around just shouting about how he fixed watches, or somebody that was like, "Oh, I fix shoes," or, you know, just whatever. And so there's a lot of people like that as well that would just be like, "Oh, like, I can fix your watch," or "I can fix your shoe," like, and they'd shout out like, "Do you need the battery changed? Do you need a new wristband? Do you need this? Do you need that?" And they'd be like their own walking commercial. So that was pretty cool. You never had to go too far. You're like, "Perfect, I need a new battery for my watch. Hello, sir, will you fix my battery?" So that was always pretty cool.